May the best man win, but this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd.
And knocked him off the list. And the thing is, he can do what the others have done, who were actually smaller like Floyd, who was actually smaller like Manny Pacquiao, but the skill can make up the difference. But the big difference with Tank is he knocked out a heavyweight in Spawn.
Floyd Mayweather gives his take on Manny Pacquiao facing Gervonta Davis, cautioning Pacquiao not to take Tank's power lightly. Even with past tension, Floyd respects Davis's strength and thinks Tank's explosive style could be a real threat to Manny. He views Tank as a serious challenge and says Pacquiao needs to be smart and cautious.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? I mean, he deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
Manny Pacquiao's boxing journey is one of the most impressive ever seen, rising through multiple weight divisions with incredible success. He began as a young fighter at 108 pounds, using his speed, power, and skill to beat much bigger opponents. His dominance across different weight classes shows how adaptable and determined he is. Floyd Mayweather, who knows talent when he sees it, has openly praised Pacquiao's ability to grow and take on challenges that most would avoid. Pacquiao's story is a clear example of hard work and drive, showing he's not just a great boxer, but a true legend in the sport.
I just want to say this to the world. Now, it's amazing how a fighter can come from, I think, 108 all the way to 154 and knock out all these guys. To me, it's amazing. I guess he's just blessed.
Gervonta Davis has quickly made a name for himself in boxing by following in the footsteps of greats like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Though his style is unique, his powerful punches make him a serious threat in the ring. Davis brings a level of intensity that often puts opponents on the back foot, and his high knockout rate proves just how effective he is. If Tank uses his full potential with the right strategy, he could go beyond what many expect. His strength isn't just about power, it also affects his opponents mentally, changing the flow of every match.
When I ask a lot of the fanboys out there, I know you want to protect your tanky wanky gumdrops, but do you think Tank will lose to Devin? They say no. Do you think Tank will lose to Ryan? No. Do you think he'll lose to T.O.? No. Do you think he'll lose to El Rayo at 140? No. Then what the hell are we doing? Let's see it so he can knock them off the list. And the thing is, he can do what the others have done, who were actually smaller like Floyd, who was actually smaller like Manny Pacquiao, but the skill can make up the difference. But the big difference with Tank is he knocked out a heavyweight in sparring. His power can make up the difference too. It can translate even better. That guy is dynamic, and I just want him to demonstrate it.
Manny Pacquiao's comeback isn't just for the thrill, it's a focused mission. He's made it clear he wants two major fights after retirement: a rematch with Floyd Mayweather and a face-off with Gervonta Davis. This shows he's thinking strategically, choosing only big fights that matter for his legacy, not just any matchup. His willingness to take on such top-level opponents shows his confidence and his awareness of what he means to the sport. These upcoming fights aren't just about winning, they're about proving a point and finishing what was started.
You two, we're back again with some more boxing news in the boxing world, and oh my God, this is some great news. Warning for Gervonta Davis after saying he would return to fight him. In an interview earlier today, they were talking to Manny Pacquiao, and Pacquiao says he only wants to come back with two fights: Floyd Mayweather the rematch, or he wants the title of Gervonta Davis. He's calling out Gervonta Davis. You two, what do y'all think about this? Manny Pacquiao, Gervonta Davis, showdown. How would this go? Who do you think would win? And would it be great for boxing? I think it would. Pacquiao, Gervonta Davis will be a smasher, will be a banger. Might break some records because Manny Pacquiao's fame and Gervonta Davis's fame. This would be a good match. I hope this happens. YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe.
Gervonta Davis shows strong confidence in his skills, proudly claiming he's above the rest in his division. His statement reflects belief not only in his power, but also in his technique and smart fight strategy. This kind of self-belief can shake opponents and push Davis to perform at his best. While confidence is key to success, it also brings pressure as fans and critics watch closely to see if he can back up his bold words in the ring.
Skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like, nobody. I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. I take that back. Right hand in hand. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody.
There's been ongoing talk about Manny Pacquiao wanting to fight Gervonta Davis, a matchup fans and experts have looked forward to for years, but Davis seems hesitant to take the fight, leading to speculation that he's being careful about protecting his undefeated record. Some see this as a smart move, while others view it as reluctance to face a legend like Pacquiao.
Yo, what's good, guys? Red Corner Boxing here. So Manny Pacquiao has revealed that should he beat Mario Barrios on July 19th in Las Vegas for the WBC strap, he wants to set up a super fight with Gervonta Tank Davis. What an intriguing thought, guys. Who wins it and how? If it happens, let us know.
Gervonta Davis has faced criticism for picking opponents seen as less challenging, a move many call cherry-picking. This talk grew louder after his controversial win over Lamont Roach Jr., where the close result and debated decision drew backlash. Now fans are pushing for a rematch, showing a wider demand for Davis to take on tougher fights and prove himself without any doubts.
Running out of available options for meaningful fights that look realistic in the here and now, right? He tried to fight Lomachenko. Loma said he didn't want to fight, so that fell out the window in 2024. Maybe it can be revisited. Rayo just lost to Gary Antoine Russell. I was looking at Rayo as a possible Tank foe. We do know that Team Tank reached out to Team Rayo at a point. So fast forward to the future. Shakur is doing deals with Turkey and Eddie Hearn. Seems like an obstacle. Tank says Eddie Hearn's a snake in a suit, and he doesn't seem to jive well with Turkey. Like he's like, this picture looks like a cult. It looked weird. And he's taking shots at the whole movement. You know what I mean? The whole Saudi stuff. So for me, I think this is great for Tank Davis because now you can rob the bank twice, run it back. Fans feel a type of way, which we'll talk about more. And you get to, like I said, rob the bank twice, run it back, get the clarity that boxing fans want. And then you can worry about the next move. Now, this is funny. I tell you guys all the time, there's a lot of low quality content in the world of boxing, right?
Gervonta Davis's narrow win over Lamont Roach Jr. raised questions about whether he's still at his peak, leading some to wonder if he's starting to slip. This uncertainty adds a layer of unpredictability to any future matchups, especially a possible fight with Manny Pacquiao. As Pacquiao begins his return, he's set to face Mario Barrios, a younger fighter eager to rise to the top. Barrios is stepping into the ring with strong focus, knowing that taking on a legend brings both big pressure and a chance to make history.
One time I interviewed your sister, and she told me when you were kids, she would do the best in sparring. She would get the best of you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, easily.
When did that change, Mario? When did that change?
He wasn't the only guy she got the best of in San Antonio. She got the best out of everybody, man. Shit. No, yeah, my sister's a beast, man. Like, she couldn't spar other females a lot of times. Cause they,
unfair.
Yeah.
Mismatch.
She was like overwhelming, man. She was just naturally, strong. And, so yeah, most of the time, the smart partners, they were dudes. But, I mean, I couldn't really even, like spar with her serious. I mean, until I was like 17 or 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
yeah, at that point, I was already too big for her,
so let me ask you this. Normally, you get a call, they say you want to fight it. So when you hear Tank, it's excitement, it's pay-per-view, it's a big deal. This is not just any other fight. When did you get the call, and how did you feel when they told you, okay, the fight's on?
I was super surprised to hear, Tank's name. I was talking to my manager, Luis Kubas, and he was like, hey, well, what do you think about Davis? I was like, Davis? So, trying to think of Davis, any Davises at 140, and I was like, wait, and I was like, you mean Gervonta? And he was like, yeah, and I was like, oh, man, I was like, I'm with it. I was like, but I ain't going down to 135.
Pacquiao has a clear plan in place. First, he aims to defeat Mario Barrios, then go after a fight with Gervonta Davis, Once Davis finishes his rematch commitments, this step-by-step strategy helps Pacquiao build momentum and check his fitness before taking on a tough younger opponent with serious power.
Boxing Doctor News told Onto Your Gloves, boxing fans, the rumors are true. Manny Pacquiao is stepping back into the ring. At 46 years old, the Filipino legend is taking on WBC welterweight champ Mario Barrios this July. But here's the kicker. Pacquiao's first world title was as a flyweight, and now he wants to retire as the WBC welterweight champ. Talk about a career comeback, but can the Pac-Man turn back time? He hasn't been in top form lately, while Barrios is coming off a tough draw. Will Pacquiao's experience triumph over youth, or is this one fight too far? Either way, July is shaping up to be an explosive month for boxing. Pacquiao's rolling the dice one last time. Will he make history as the oldest welterweight champ ever? Get ready for a showdown that'll have you on the edge of your seat.
Despite ongoing talk about the difficulties of fighting at his age, Pacquiao stays calm and focused. His steady attitude during interviews and training shows the confidence and mental strength that come from years of experience. Instead of getting defensive about questions surrounding his fitness, he handles the attention with quiet confidence and respect.
Are you excited to step into the ring again?
Yes.
What do you think of Barrios? He's a big, strong, young, sturdy. You have 16 years on him, Manny.
Don't worry about it.
Promoter Eddie Hearn shares a grounded view on the difficulties athletes like Pacquiao face when returning after a long break. He points out that key elements like speed, reflexes, and stamina are hard to keep without regular fights. Hearn highlights that aging and slower recovery can affect how well a fighter performs, bringing attention to the real risks involved in making a comeback at this stage.
147, kind of a weird spot right now. We're looking at Manny Pacquiao potentially facing Mario Barrios. What do you think of that fight?
Yeah, I think that, it's a very contentious subject. Like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year. And every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, like, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually Pacquiao is a step up, and people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots, but he still hasn't had those wins yet.
The trend of legendary boxers returning from retirement for big money fights is becoming more frequent, with figures like Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson leading the way. Pacquiao is now part of this growing list. While these comebacks can be financially rewarding, they also raise questions about whether they add to or risk damaging a fighter's legacy.
Oh my God. Barrios versus Manny. This is some bullshit. If this is real, I'm not sure if it's real. Barrios fighting Manny Pacquiao. This is some bullshit right here. Manny Pacquiao he hasn't been a pro in a minute, and they're coming back to fight someone for a belt. Barrios technically should win, but this isn't fair. Like, we could have had Brian Norman Jr. versus Barrios, but we're getting Manny Pacquiao versus Barrios. I don't think anyone wants to see that. Manny Pacquiao is past his prime. He's not in his fighting years no more. And then can he make 147? And then you're letting him fight for the belt. That doesn't make any type of sense. And then if he beats Barrios, let's say hypothetically he beats him, is he gonna unify? Cause Boots, that's sitting on the lamb to the slaughter. Brian Norman, that's sitting on the lamb to the slaughter. Like, this doesn't make no sense. These young fighters, like, they can really hurt Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao couldn't even handle Ugas. Like, just think about how this is all playing out. It doesn't make sense. This fight shouldn't be made. Like, there's other fighters that Barrios can fight. Like, he could try to fight Boost, because I think unification is Trump mandatories. Or there's, I would have to look into the weight division for. Oh, there's like he could fight Rohan. There's other fighters you can fight besides Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, I like watching him fight, but I don't think he deserves this type of fight, and he hasn't been fighting actively. Let me know what you guys think about this fight possibly being made. I'm praying this fight is going to get made. I'm out.
Pacquiao has firmly denied that his return to boxing is about money, pointing instead to his ongoing charity work as proof that his goals go beyond profit. He presents his comeback as a personal mission driven by love for the sport and a desire to leave a lasting mark on boxing history. This view sets him apart from the typical story of returning legends focused on paychecks, challenging common assumptions about aging fighters. Pacquiao continues to show impressive skill in his 40s with sharp movement, strong footwork, and precise timing. His ability to perform at this level is rare and highlights his dedication and natural talent.
Justin, how exciting is it to have the legend, the icon, the only 8th division champion in boxing at your gym here in Fortune Gym in Los Angeles? He's working hard. He ran an hour. He did a whole...
Been with him for 22 years.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he's a machine. He ran an hour. He did strength and conditioning with you, which is not easy.
He ran an hour. He didn't realize that this gets a bit harder. And as we increase the rounds to this, you got to pull back on the runs a little bit. Now he knows.
He did strength and conditioning with you. He went all out. He worked hard, and now he's doing 1,600 sit-ups.
Yeah, well,
he's a machine.
Yeah.
What kind of machine is he?
Huh?
What kind of machine?
Crazy machine. He will, but as we increase this, we'll pull the running back shorter, faster. But you know, he knows. So now he knows what the train's about. We increase the train, we increase the stations, change it up all the time, so it's continually shocking his system, and we get a good result.
It was a great workout this morning. He worked hard, as he always does. And the whole team's here. You feel the energy, the vibe.
Yeah,
good energy.
More people than I thought, but you know.
This is light.
This guy here, I got training with this guy.
This is light.
Been traveling weeks now. He keeps bugging me out his fucking jacket. Give me a jumper. Give me a jumper. Come on, mate.
Yesterday at the gym, he was throwing flurries. 10, 12, 15 punches in a combo. That's look incredible.
Listen, I know Midson and Bags don't punch back, but he looks the same as he did.
I've been saying that. I've been saying that. He hasn't missed a beat.
No, he hasn't missed a beat.
He went like this. He looked the other way.
You know, never.
He ran? Joe's upset. He didn't run, but he didn't run. Would I leave? He turned around and...
Son, would I leave the boss with him, son? No.
Mario Barrios' team is taking the fight with Pacquiao seriously, and with full respect, his coach has made it clear they're preparing as if they're facing Pacquiao at his prime, showing strong focus and commitment. This attitude means Barrios won't take anything for granted and is getting ready for whatever Pacquiao brings. The coach's confidence shows trust in Barrios' ability to step up, making this a true test of both fighters' strength and determination. Their professional approach underscores just how important and intense this matchup is expected to be.
They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes at that point is about as good as you can get in the division, and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Batirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots, Ennis.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.